He was called an alien by LeBron James, not because of his looks, but because he shouldn't exist. A 7 feet 3 inches giant with the agility of a guard, a wingspan that eats space, a jumper smoother than most shooting guards, and defensive instincts that make the paint his personal no-fly zone. This isn't your average NBA prospect. This is Victor Wembanyama, a generational anomaly who didn't just live up to the hype. He surpassed it. In a league built around speed, space, and versatility, Wemby is already changing the game's geometry, warping defensive coverages, stretching floors, and dominating both ends at just 20 years old. But the crazy part? This is only the beginning. From the outskirts of Paris to the roaring crowds of San Antonio, from a skinny teenager with pro dreams to dropping 50-point games and leading the league in blocks, Victor Wembanyama has gone from a global prospect to a global problem for every team not named the Spurs. And yet, despite all the highlight reels and record-breaking moments, nobody's truly ready for what's coming next. So how did we get here? How did a kid from France become the NBA's next evolutionary leap? Let's go back to the start. Because the rise of Wembanyama is just getting scary. Before he became the most feared rookie in recent memory, before the 7 feet 3 inches wingspan, the blocked three-pointers, and the 50-point explosions, Victor Wembanyama was just a skinny kid from the suburbs of Paris with a dream, and a last name scouts couldn't pronounce until they had to. Born in Le Chesnay, France in 2004, Wemby didn't grow up chasing NBA mixtapes. He grew up in a household of athletes. His mom, a former pro basketball player. His dad, a track and field athlete. Athleticism? It ran in the blood. But what Victor had was something else entirely. By age 12, he was already standing over 6 feet tall. But he wasn't just tall. He was skilled, fluid, precise. He moved like a guard, handled like a wing, and saw the floor like a point forward. Coaches in France started whispering, "This kid's different." At 15, while most American prospects were still figuring out their AAU schedules, Wembanyama was already playing professional basketball with Nanterre 92. And he wasn't riding the bench. He was holding his own against grown men. Then came the spotlight. He moved on to Asvel, a EuroLeague club owned by Tony Parker. There, Wemby got his first real taste of international basketball at the highest level. He battled seasoned veterans, refined his defense, and sharpened his already freakish instincts. But the moment that put him on every NBA scout's radar, his time with Metropolitans, 92. In 2022, the NBA arranged a pair of exhibition games between Wemby's French squad and the G League Ignite, headlined by Scoot Henderson. What was meant to be a showcase turned into a declaration. Wembanyama went off. 37 points, 5 blocks, multiple threes, and highlight reel plays that looked like they were pulled from a video game. He wasn't just good, he looked unfair. A 7 feet 3 inches shooter with elite rim protection and perimeter agility, that's not supposed to be real. From that moment on, the hype machine didn't just start, it exploded. ESPN labeled him the best prospect since LeBron. Players were openly in awe. Teams were strategically tanking just for a shot at him. And when the 2023 NBA draft arrived, the only real question was who would win the lottery. That answer? The San Antonio Spurs. A perfect storm. The franchise that once developed David Robinson and Tim Duncan would now get to mold the most exciting big man of the modern era. Wembanyama was selected #1 overall, and instantly, the countdown began. Not to his debut, but to an entirely new era of basketball. From the moment Victor Wembanyama stepped onto an NBA court, it was clear. This wasn't just another #1 pick. He wasn't adjusting to the league was adjusting to him. At just 20 years old, Wembanyama's 2024-25 rookie season wasn't just good, it was historic. Unreal numbers, real impact. Through the first half of the season, Wemby averaged 24.3 points per game, 11.0 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 3.8 blocks, leading the league. And these weren't empty stats. He anchored the Spurs' defense like a seasoned vet, turning the paint into a no-entry zone and routinely blocking jump shots. Yes, jump shots. With that absurd 8 feet wingspan. You literally couldn't shoot over him, even from the perimeter. But his offensive game? That's where the panic really started. Wembanyama wasn't just dunking or feasting on putbacks. He was stepping into threes like a wing, pulling up in transition like a guard, breaking down defenders off the dribble, and making passes out of double teams like a point center. He was, in every sense, a system-breaking problem. Signature moments of a rookie superstar. Wemby's highlight reel wasn't just deep, it was ridiculous. In a marquee matchup against the Washington Wizards, he dropped a career-high 50 points, including 6 threes, 9 rebounds, and 4 blocks. On Christmas Day, the NBA's biggest regular season spotlight, he torched the Lakers for 42 points and 18 boards, outplaying both Luka and LeBron on national TV. And let's not forget the viral moment when he blocked a three-pointer, saved the ball, and then ran the fast break himself, finishing with a one-legged fadeaway like he was channeling Dirk Nowitzki if Dirk was 7 feet 3 inches with springs for legs. Every time the Spurs played, Twitter melted. Clips of Wemby doing things no one his size should do filled timelines night after night. Even veterans were stunned. Coaches game-planned entire defenses around him, and still watched him pick them apart, winning over the league and the world. The Spurs, while still rebuilding, were noticeably more competitive with Wembanyama on the floor. His presence alone made teammates better. Whether spacing the floor, protecting the rim, or drawing double teams that opened up opportunities for everyone else. But beyond the stats and the wins, something bigger was happening. Wembanyama was becoming a global icon. The NBA's marketing machine went all in. He was on magazine covers, in Nike commercials. The league even scheduled more Spurs nationally televised games than anyone could have predicted. And every single one delivered a highlight. He wasn't just living up to the hype, he was redefining it. Just when it looked like Victor Wembanyama might walk away with Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and maybe even an All-NBA nod, the kind of season that would redefine what a rookie could be, everything changed in an instant. February 2025. Wemby had just come off a dominant stretch, a string of 30-plus point games, multiple 5-block outings, and MVP-level performances that had analysts openly wondering, are we watching the best rookie season ever? And then came the news that blindsided the NBA world. Victor Wembanyama diagnosed with a blood clot in his right shoulder. Out of nowhere, his historic rookie campaign was put on pause, and possibly the season. No hard fall, no dramatic injury. Just a slow-developing medical issue, with serious implications. The Spurs medical team moved quickly, ruling him out for the remainder of the season to focus on long-term health. Suddenly, the highlights stopped. The Rookie of the Year race reopened, and fans were left stunned. Because when a player this rare hits the league, you don't expect the story to pause this soon. But here's where Wembanyama showed something, just as important as points and blocks. Character. He didn't sulk. He didn't disappear. He stayed with the team, showing up at practices, mentoring younger players, and publicly committing to a full recovery. In interviews, he said, "This isn't the end. It's just a moment. I'll be back better." And he meant it. Reports from San Antonio say rehab is going smoothly. The clot was caught early, treatment is effective, and doctors expect a full recovery with no long-term damage. The Spurs and the league are breathing easier. But fans? They're hungrier than ever to see what year 2 will look like. Because if this was what Wemby looked like before he hit his physical prime, imagine what's coming next. Victor Wembanyama didn't just arrive in the NBA, he disrupted it. He changed how we talk about rookies. He changed how teams defend the paint. He changed what we thought was possible from a player his size. And even with his season cut short, Wemby gave us more in 50 games than most players give in 5 years. He's not a prospect anymore. He's not a project. He's not potential. He's the present. And more importantly, he's the future. In a league filled with unicorns, Wemby is something entirely new. A generational glitch. A system-breaking skyscraper with the game of a guard and the mind of a vet. And the scary part? He's just 20. His frame is still filling out. His reads are getting sharper. His confidence is building. So go ahead. Double him. Trap him. Pack the paint. Try your best. Because every year from now on, you're going to have to game plan for Victor Wembanyama. And the teams that don't, they're going to get buried by the future. Where does Wemby rank among the best rookie seasons you've ever seen? Do you think injuries will slow him down? Or is this just the calm before a dynasty begins? By the hoop. Drop your thoughts below. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell for more deep dives into the NBA's next generation of legends.